Hey everybody, Joe Joseph here for thedailysheeple.com, and this is your news shot. Great website, antiwar.com, has a piece, The End of Globalism, and I want to talk about this because this is not a cut and dry, black and white type of issue or problem. And Justin Raimondo wrote this as the subtitle, "The Heck with Promoting Democracy. It's time to put protecting America first." Well, the first thing I have a problem with is, why are we promoting democracy in something that we're not? We're not a democracy. The United States is nowhere near, should not be a democracy, never was designed to be a democracy. We're designed to be a constitutional republic. And even though it has its flaws, one thing a constitutional republic does is supposed to protect the rights of the majority, whereas with a democracy, it's mob rule. One voice, one vote, right? And it doesn't matter if you have rights or property rights. Why, if somebody says, well, you know, we want to eminent domain your house and your property to build a park for everybody. Well, democracy says, hey, if we all vote it, you're out. Doesn't matter how you feel. In a constitutional republic, the rights of the minority are respected. Therefore, your property rights are respected. So I don't want to promote democracy. I'm glad he doesn't want to promote democracy. He says it's time to put protecting America first. Well, America, my friends, it was a great experiment, but it goes to show you that in order for a true, free republic to stand the test of time, you have to have a population that's plugged in, that's fed the right information. You're expecting a lot out of humanity is basically what's happening. And unfortunately, the human condition doesn't, look well upon this whole idea of freedom. As a matter of fact, humans often go for the easy way out. And why not let government handle all these things that are, kind of hard for us? So we have a lot. If you wanted to end globalism, we have a lot of work to do, because while globalism in and of itself might not be bad if we did away with all the borders and we implemented it the right way to where you could just travel freely anywhere you want. I would love to be able to go over to Paris, France or whatever, and just not have to worry about a passport, not have to worry about passing through customs, not have to worry about all that. Wouldn't it be awesome to be able to go, to Frankfurt, Germany, or to Perth, Australia, and just be able to go and do these things without the need of going through the rigmarole of customs, passports, airplanes, all that stuff. It's crazy. The problem is the way globalism, the way they want to implement it, would be strict travel controls. It wouldn't be freedom. It would be restrictive traveling. It would be even worse. It would be harder. So globalism, the way that the powers that shouldn't be envision it, is a horrible thing. Promoting democracy is a horrible thing. Justin writes, progress is slow. That's what I've learned and come to expect after 20 plus years at this post, commenting on world events and swimming against the tide. However, after all this time, it looks to me as if the tide's turning slowly, unevenly, yet surely against the war party. And of course, he says, the times are a-changin', as Bob Dylan once wrote. And he says this: Secretary of State Rex Tillerson has ordered his department to redefine its mission and issue a new statement of purpose to the world. The draft statements under review right now are similar to the old mission statements, except for one thing. Any mention of promoting democracy is being eliminated. And of course, all the usual suspects are in a tizzy. Elliot Abrams, he's of a Contragate fame and one of the purest of the neoconservative ideologues, is cited in the Washington Post piece as being quite unhappy. Quote, the only significant difference is the deletion of justice and democracy. We used to want a just and democratic world, and now apparently we don't. Let me stop there. It's not the purpose of the United States to be the strong arm of Israel or any other UN organization or any other lobbyist organization. It doesn't matter. We should not be the policeman of the world, okay? Teddy Roosevelt got it wrong in that regard, okay? That is not the purpose of any country. We should not be forcing our will on anybody else. We should not be forcing regime change. We shouldn't be doing anything that gets in the way of anybody else's problems. The Founding Fathers were very, very adamant on this. And they said, ally with none, trade with all. If I could actually paraphrase. And for good reason. If you take a look at World War I and what happened when Archduke Ferdinand was assassinated, all of these treaties triggered World War I because everybody was aligned with each other, right? We get involved in way too many things that we shouldn't, all because they pull at the heartstrings of people, because inherently I believe human beings are good and want to help and want to do good things. Most of us do. And they pull at your heartstrings and say, oh, look at down in Venezuela. Okay, right now it starts with sanctions. Then what? You know, after sanctions don't work, then what? Why are we sanctioning that government? The people need to rise up. If the opposition needs help, they can ask. And then if it was me, I would put it up to public debate, because it would certainly be something that we would have to involve the people in. And then, my friends, if it went that far, then a declaration of war would be warranted and passed through Congress in order so that there's no doubt that the people support going to war. That's the only way it should happen and should be. That's not the way it happens. Back in the 1970s, Congress passed the War Powers Act that basically negated their responsibility and passed it off on the president so they can point fingers at the president instead of doing what they are constitutionally responsible to do. This is not how you get rid of globalism, okay? This is not how we do things or supposed to do things, okay? Nationalism is not the answer. It's not the answer. Although the United States is in a really good and strong position to be able to do and live under a nationalistic footprint, the problem that you have is people have lived and learned to love excess and selfishness more than ever before. They cater to their desires more than ever before. If you were to go completely and totally nationalist, we shut the borders. We don't trade. We produce everything internally. Okay, first of all, China owns 90% of the rare earth element mines in the world. Okay, instantaneously, your smartphone, your computer, let's just say your iPhone, right? iPhone costs what, $500? Your iPhone just became $2,000 because it's that much harder to get the resources to do that. Now you're going to have to recycle the old phones to do this, which is great. Hey, look, we don't use as much stuff. It costs a lot more. American labor costs a lot more. Okay? All of these things come at a cost. If the people are willing to endure that, live with less, to be able to not have to deal with any of the BS in the foreign policy, great. Our population's not ready to do that. They are addicted to the culture of convenience, and they always will be, because we've gone now multi-generations where people get what they want when they want it. Instant gratification. My friends, there's no going back once you swallow that freaking pill. It's down. It's gone. Not without some severe side effects, you know, and a lot of it being riots, violent outbursts. You're talking about poverty that would explode. There's a lot of stuff that would happen. So if we were to go that way, it would certainly have to be a phased approach. One that, again, would be done right. And unfortunately, I have little to no faith that the people in Washington and or the powers that shouldn't be, whether they be on Wall Street or anywhere else, not only do they not want nationalism, but I don't believe that they could even implement it if they wanted to. I can't even fathom just how massive a screw up it would be, because it would be off the scale, because that's what they do. So while I like this whole idea of changing globalism as it is right now, because it's totally and completely corrupt, and it only benefits the very tippity top, hence the giant chasm in, between the haves and the have-nots. I just can't see it being fixed or implemented by anybody that's there right now, not without a lot of pain. So who knows what the answer is? Globalism as it stands certainly is not the answer. I just don't believe nationalism is the answer either. And I don't think it's going to be an easy answer, but certainly a debate that has to be had. I'm Joe Joseph. This was thedailysheeple.com's News Shot. Feel free to comment below and visit our website at thedailysheeple.com. Have a great day.